Hello. Um, I don't really like making videos with these big headphones on, but my microphone on my laptop and my microphone, external microphone, they both kind of suck. So I usually have better quality when I wear these. These are actually broken as far as audio comes out, so I can still use it as a microphone. I got a new pair that are Bluetooth, but I might be sending them back because I can't get them to pair with my computer. But anyway, um, someone said they couldn't hear me on my last video, and I apologize for that. I I could hear it fine if I turn up I had headphones on and turn it up. But anyway, that one was just me talking about. Um, I think it was about after I did see my new psychiatrist. I liked him okay, just fine so far. I just haven't had good experiences with male doctors. They tend, in my opinion, to um, be more gaslighting is, you know, the term now to use, but especially in women. And I just feel like the communication style is inherent to our sex. Um, so I just prefer the communication style um, from female healthcare providers. But um, as far as good psychiatrists, where I live, it's slim pickings. I have to drive out to the city to see mine, an hour and a half away. Um, but the good news was that he said I can stay on the lithium on the lower dose, 600, and and but I needed another level checked in another appointment after I get the labs drawn, um, to so they're there for him to see when he sees me, um, and what they're watching is my creatinine level besides my lithium level, which has been fine. The creatinine level, if you don't know this already, lithium long term use, and I'm long term use, many years, and it's the only thing that works. Um, it, hold on, I've been having this all day where I lose what I was about to say. I mean, I've had it for a long time. It's just bad today. Um, but the creatinine level tells how your kidney lithium notoriously goes for your thyroid gland, which I did eventually finally have to go on thyroid uh, hormone replacement, and and they're watching my creatinine level because that measures your kidney health. And during that period where I had the lithium toxicity, it was high. So it's just being more closely monitored. And he did say, though, that if it comes to your health, I have to take you off the lithium. Because I said to him, well, we're talking about quality of life then. If there isn't a drug that works exactly like lithium but doesn't hurt my kidneys, fine. But if it's the whole list of what I've already tried and didn't work, and nothing worked until I was put on lithium, and um, I just benefited by all the side effects they gave me. Um, if one of the first three side effects is weight gain, I'm not taking it. I was petite, and I got on some medications when I first was diagnosed. Gained a lot of weight, a lot, and developed an eating disorder in an effort to lose that weight. Because at first it was a diet, and then it had a mind of its own. And so now I'm at a healthy weight. I'm not going there again. I have anyway. Just a moment. I need to get a drink of my soda, but I'm supposed to hydrate. Pretty much, I need to be drinking water every day, 24/7. That's basically how much water I have to drink. I just have to be constantly fluids without caffeine. And I also have high blood pressure now, which is new-ish. Anyway, enough about that. I'm tired of talking about that. Excuse me, but my mouth gets so dry when I talk. Dog training's going well. It's always slow in the winter and picks up in the spring. I am money-wise, because of my hospitalization for the lithium toxicity, I had medical bills to pay. And when I have a plan, and my plan is I'm going to use certain monies I get to gradually pay off the hospital-related bills, and use my dog training money, save that for an official evaluation. I have already been told that I meet the criteria of at least level 1 autism. There's now they do it in like level 1, 2, and 3, going on how much assistance you would need. Mine is mostly in the way of communication, not understanding how to do it, it's a bizarre place to be. Hold on. It looks better this way, but it's annoying. I, I like being alone. I like not, let me rephrase that. I like not being with people unless I need them for something. And I actually happened to find out by accident that I was doing something very rude. And and to me it makes perfect sense, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess if you say so. But that is, I go to people, and this is what I was told from someone else that knows me. Ask them whatever question I have, get the information I need, and then turn around and walk away. In my mind, it's like, okay, I'm done with you. Next time I need you, I'll come find you. I and the telephone is awful. I don't know I can't start things, I can't finish things. And it's always been a struggle ever since I was a little baby baby. When I was a baby, I didn't cry. I wake up and just lay in my crib and I don't know, stare around. And my mom took me to the doctor and she thought I had autism. Well, I'm 53, and now it's been recommended I get formally by a social worker, that I be formally assessed by someone that is familiar with women that have. But what I was saying about people, that like I only acknowledge the need for people when I need them. And then I want them to kind of go away. At the same time, paradoxically, that's hard to say, paradox here, is I often feel lonely. But let me rephrase that. I sometimes feel lonely. If my dogs are with me, I'm not lonely. I'm never lonely if my dogs are with me. But when people are with me, I'm lonely while they're there. I'm loneliest. In my own home with my mom and my dogs, sometimes I do get lonely. And I've been really lonely the last few days. But the weird thing is, I am at my loneliest when I'm around people. Because even though I have purposely watched and analyzed and practiced things that I have observed other people saying and doing, I can, to an extent, exist in the same space as several people, and they're all talking, and I'm just like as stiff as a board, and praying no one talks to me and praying for this to end. That's when I feel the most lonely. And then I'll have to like occasionally retreat to the bathroom, or just find a corner to hide in to recoup and just manage my way through it and act like like I'm having a good time. And but at home, I didn't used to feel lonely at home. But my my mom is really confusing me because she knows me best. She's known me since I was a baby. I've lived with her most of my life. There was just a chunk of time in my life where I lived in Kansas City. Um, but sh- but my mom is very withholding, I guess. I mean, I have to ask to find out. She's hard to read. And that kind of person stresses the heck out of me because I can read a dog easily in 5 seconds, but people are different. They don't give away their answers by body language. They can they can say something and mean something else, and you can't know what is true. So you don't know how to respond. And my mom's really hard to read. She won't cry in front of anybody, even though I know she cries. Um, she's not like crying all the time. I know that there have been times where crying was warranted, and I didn't see her cry. Um, she goes in her room and does it, and I'll just like bust out in tears and freak out wherever I happen to be, because it's just gonna come out. There's nothing I can do about it. So even though I have told her about the autism assessment, she was like, I think you're on the right track. She totally agrees with me, that most of my autistic traits land towards the communication type stuff and relationships. She's like, yeah, that sounds like you. And she's like, it's like, it makes sense that people like you prefer to be around animals than people. And so I'm like, okay, so she's totally into an understanding that, I've had autism and just undiagnosed until hopefully, because it would make life so much easier for me to be able to put all these extraneous things that are just kind of bobbing around in the ocean is kind of put them in this neat tiny box, because that's what it feels like. Oh, that thing I do, it's part of what goes in this box. um but then she doesn't want to read anything about it or watch YouTube videos about it. She's like, no, I trust you because she knows that anytime I have something going on, whether it be an interest or an illness, I research it to freaking death and take notes that I do nothing with. And so I'm disappointed that she's not more interested. But see, knowing her, she's very, and sometimes it can be bad and sometimes not, a little self-centered about things, how it affects her more. Like maybe she thinking, did she do something wrong? Like that. I'm like, no, I'm freaking born that way. I was already that way in the crib. And So anyway, um, it can take a long time to get the assessment. I don't know if I'm going to go through the psychiatrist I have now because I haven't had him. Well, it's going to be a while before I could get it anyway because it does cost money. I have to save for it, and it would make me feel so much more complete and understand myself better if I can. I already do, but I need validation. I need to be validated. And, but I also know how I feel when I feel that, like, I mean, there's no question that I have bipolar disorder. There's no getting around that. I have textbook, look up bipolar 1 disorder, and there's a picture of me. Um, but but I've also been diagnosed with social anxiety, which is a diagnosis that came before the bipolar disorder. It was something, as a kid because I couldn't make friends. I could have a friend if they approached me, but it wasn't very. It eventually they were not my friend anymore because I of something I did or said, or they moved away. But so that oh, I was saying is that you know it really bothers me, and when people would say, "Oh, well, I'm just being bipolar today." Oh, I'm just. Oh, you just don't hang around her. She acts bipolar. She's got to be bipolar. Like saying things like that, that bothers me because I have it. And it's not an offhand remark, it's a serious, very serious medical condition. And I don't like it to be treated lightly. And I think it's overdiagnosed. Um, and for a while there it was like a fad to have um, bipolar disorder, and I feel like that has kind of gone to the wayside. And I get the same feeling about autism, that it's the thing, the fad, the in thing to do to be autistic. um, I had been thinking I was autistic, had autism long before that. Many, many, many years ago, I tested it out on a therapist, I think it was. It could have been a psychiatrist, and I just kind of casually threw it out there, because I was like, yeah, I have a lot of anxiety socially, but I think there's something else going on. There's, um, that's just part of something else. And I think it might be like Asperger's or some form of autism. And they're like, no, because you have a job. People with autism can't work. So, um, that's not true. I just so happen to work in the realm of one of my uh, autistic obsessions which are dogs. I watch dog shows, I watch dog agility, I watch dog everything on the TV. I'm just like, I can name breeds, just show me. Um, so fortunately, I got to be paired up with a job that I'm primarily around the dog. The first day that we sit and talk, and so that I'm actually interacting with the person more, I take Xanax before I go. And then the usually the sessions after the first one are more about teaching the dog the command or behavior, and we're focusing on the dogs and we're talking about dogs. As soon as the conversation goes away from dogs, I'm lost, except for this magic filing cabinet I have in my head where I have recorded and prepared sayings and things to spit out that I have heard other people do and say, like chit chat. I had to see, oh no, I'll start with eye contact. In nursing school, I knew there was something wrong already with the way I communicated. Part of it was eye contact. We were learning about that in nursing school the very first year about how to talk to your patient and get their confidence and stuff. And I'm like, okay, they want me to give eye contact, and I am not an eye contact person. And so I was practicing it, and I was just like staring at people straight in the and I just got this like, not really even a feeling, just an inkling that they felt weirded out. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it wrong. And so now I look at people and look away, and that's like something I have done enough. It's like I don't know. Anyway, but I copy mostly the veterinarian that I worked with a lot when I worked at the animal shelter. The way she would handle staffing situations and what she would think she would say and how she would say it, and like, and we got close enough for me to like say, I don't know how to handle what to say to people, and in this situation, and then I'd say it in exactly how she said it. And like, for example, the best thing last time happened was she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you." And I'd never heard someone say that before. And I'm like, well, that takes all the attention off of you. You're still talking about them and their concerns, whereas I have a tendency to take over when like say I'm seeing a client about their dog, I have to keep reminding myself to not talk about my dogs and that I'm there for them and their dog, because I will go off and then I'm talking about different breeds, and I've just ran with it. And they don't and I can sense just a little bit on my first day, the like, maybe they are wondering, so is there something off about this person? And then the second time I come and they see how quickly I can get something done with a dog, they don't care if I'm a little quirky. So most dog people aren't. I mean, don't care that I'm quirky, because they're quirky too. Um, Anyway, so I'm I'm just feeling kind of lonely in this. I want this. I want this. There are two things I want before I die: to get this situated, uh, that I was just talking about, the autism, um and why they make you pay so much money for an assessment is so cruel. If there's a telehealth kind of one that's less expensive. um I just have to do a little more research into them to make sure they're legit. um and I got the puppy. I just got the puppy, which I had to pay a lot of money for. um and before you come and get me, we did try to adopt from the shelter, and it turned into a disaster. And I had a client that had a puppy that I was training with her, and I really liked him, and I asked where she got him, and that's where I got mine. And she's for service dog work. Finn here is going to be um, he's retiring as we he's in the process right there. And Echo, who is in there, is taking his place. But she's 5 months old. We're stuck on downstay. She can do everything to pass her basic obedience except for downstay. She should be done by now, but to be honest, it was such an ordeal training Finn, and it was so soon we got her after my Shamey dog, one of my other dogs, passed away, that I'm still, it's a lot better, but it's still having some bonding issues. Okay, so I don't want to go too long and just ramble, but that's where I'm at. Saving money. You can buy me a coffee if you want. And just pray that my lower dose lithium will keep me out of lithium toxicity, but also keep my moods stable, because they were going to drop it down to 450. And then he had noticed in my chart that when they lowered it before, which I don't remember because it's been that long, I started to feel symptoms again. So we're sticking at 600. And so just if you could keep me in mind for those things. And I'm really not sure what you do for someone who is confused and stressed about being around people, but at the same time be lonely. I mean, are those two things actually compatible? Can you be both? And then I feel like I'm 53 and I've done nothing but anyway. I hope you are doing better than I am. I'm gonna go and watch TV. I've been thinking about doing a live, but I don't think I have enough followers that they would bother watching. I might. Probably. My mom's going out of town, so it'd just be me and the dog, so I'll probably do it then, like around the 27th or so. All right, well, hope you're having a good night or a good day whenever this ends up on the internet, on YouTube. I hope you have people in your lives that make you feel wanted and comfortable. Good night.